Hey everybody, we're going to be talking about the new patch for Dragonflight, which is going to be 10.0.5. We just got a release date, and it's being confirmed for next week on January 24th. So we don't have much time left, so let's kind of just go over all of the new changes and things coming to the game. But before we get into it, I'd just like to remind you guys to please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So let's talk about the first and probably the biggest feature about this new patch, which is going to be the trading post. So what is the trading post exactly? Well, the trading post is basically going to be a way for players to earn unique looking rewards and cosmetics for their characters. And going from just the things that they've confirmed that are going to be in there, but then also some of these other items that I found that look like they are possibly going to be data mined and put into the trading post, man, there's going to be some really cool stuff there. Out of all the things that I found, I think the really coolest one was the two different color variants of the Warden armor for Night Elves. And obviously it's on the trading post, so it's probably going to be available to literally everyone. But I think I'd actually be okay with certain things being race restricted, because yeah, I just think the idea of a Tauren wearing like the special Warden armor that Night Elves wore, it's just kind of weird. It's like I'm still trying to get used to Tauren rogues, so yeah. But unfortunately, the stuff in the trading post are not going to be free, and they're not going to cost gold. So they're going to cost this new type of currency that you're going to have to actually earn. You get 500 of this new currency just by logging in every month, and then you have to earn another 500 during that month just by doing, different things in the game. And to earn these credits, you're not going to have to like fill out this to-do list or, grind out anything. It seems like it's going to be from just a bunch of random stuff to, you literally don't even have to think about it. Just playing the game, you're just going to earn this stuff. So I wouldn't stress about it too much. And then also, you're going to be getting an additional 500 points just by owning Dragonflight or purchasing it. At the beginning, everyone's going to have, I think, 1,000 points on that day one, and then you can earn 500 later. So that first week, we're going to actually get 1,500 points. And I think that'll be more than enough to buy pretty much anything that first month. I don't know about you guys, but I think unless there's something really awesome in that first month, I'm probably just going to hold on to my points, because we don't know how much things are going to cost. Blizzard can always change the value of things going forward, so if there's something really cool next month, I'd love to be able to just purchase it. But don't feel too worried about hoarding your points, because if you do find something really cool in the trading post, there is going to be a way to basically freeze something so that you can, potentially buy it next month. But you can only do that with one item. At the very least, it's nice that they're giving us the option to potentially just hold on to something really special that we want to have, so that's really cool. And then we're going to be having this new Storm Fury event, which is going to be kind of like the Primalist Invasions, but on steroids apparently. It's going to be an event which takes place every 5 hours in the Primalist Future area, which can be located by using that one portal in Thaldraszus by all the Time Mages. And basically when you get in there, you're going to need to capture and protect 4 different locations from waves of enemies. And apparently they can, enemies will just keep coming to attack them. So it's not like it's something that you can do by yourself, because the mobs in there actually hit pretty hard. So you're going to need to have a group of, at least a full group of everyone, so that you can go in there and defend all the locations at the same time. And then once you get the locations captured and hold them for a certain amount of time, the boss will spawn. But it's not going to be all fun and games in there, because apparently there's going to be some kind of like cold mechanic that basically stacks on your character and makes you slower and all that stuff. So you're actually going to have to like go to these areas where there's like warmth to get rid of the stacks. And I don't know, it seems kind of cool. It's like it's almost like they're putting in some like survival elements into the game. So yeah, there's going to be some pretty decent rewards from this event. You're going to be getting storm sigils. There's going to be a new mount and a new pet from all of this. So it's worth trying out. And it's really nice that Blizzard's, following their commitment where, in a bunch of different interviews, they all mentioned that they really want to start focusing more on open world content, which is just awesome to hear. And now we're also going to be getting a ton of class or spec changes. And I didn't go over all of them in this video because we'll be here all night. There is a ton of stuff here. I would say go to the World of Warcraft website and check out the official release page. They have a list of all the changes going to your class and specs. It seems like there's going to be quite a few nerfs and buffs in different areas, so I think the meta is going to change a lot. It'll be pretty interesting. There's going to be a few new changes or adjustments to how loot drops in the raids. You're not going to be able to roll need on profession recipes if you've already learned that, and you're also not going to be able to roll on tier tokens if you've already gotten that tier. So it just sounds like they're trying to kind of improve or kind of fix some problems where, loots drop in and people have the item but then they're still rolling need on it. It just kind of saves a lot of frustration. The Revival Catalyst is going to be going live. It's pretty similar to what we had in Shadowlands. For anyone that doesn't know what this is, the Creation Catalyst in Shadowlands was a system in the game where you could earn items from Mythic Plus or Raiding or PvP that weren't tier sets. You could actually go to the Creation Catalyst and turn these items into something different. And sometimes you could turn them into a piece of tier, for example. And the one thing about this system was that it actually costed like resources, so you had to actually go out and farm currency to use this. But in Dragonflight, it looks like we're not going to have to do any of that with this. So it's just all it's gonna have is like charges to it, and each time you use it, it diminishes one of the charges. But apparently, as the expansion or the season goes on, every week there's going to be more charges. So it's going to be kind of like a little internal catch-up mechanic for people that are just starting out. I think it's like if someone comes to the game late, they're going to have maybe 3 charges instead of 1, where everyone else will. So it's going to be kind of nice. White and gray quality items are now going to be able to be used for Transmog, which is freaking huge. There's going to be a huge change in just how people farm for gear and throw it on the auction house. This is going to open up the market. There's going to be way more money to be made for farming items in the game, and I think just the option of having white and gray items now, there's just so many cool looking gray or white items in the game, and now we're going to be able to use them, which is just awesome. And another change to the Transmog system is that now we're going to be able to use enchant illusions on artifact weapons. So before, artifact weapons were kind of unique and special, so you couldn't use any of the enchants on them, but now you can. So now you'll be able to trick out your artifact weapons and make them look even cooler than they were before. Hey, guess what? The Mage Tower's back. Yeah, so now you guys are going to be able to go back to the Broken Isles and try to do those really hard and difficult encounters and get some really cool themed armor for your Transmog, or get that pesky fell werebear form that just was really hard to do. War mode can now be toggled on or off in Valdrakken, so no longer do you need to go to Stormwind or Orgrimmar to turn it on. There's going to be some big changes to the solo shuffle, so rating is now going to be calculated per round in the game with levers, and now there's going to be some pretty severe penalties for levers, and frequent abusers can even be banned from the game. Yeah, I see you, person who leaves the games because they're mad. Stop doing that. There are a ton of changes to professions as far as, crafting or just, gathering. There's just too many to list here again, so if you guys really want to see the full list, check out the page on the World of Warcraft website. But I would say that the biggest one that I think we should probably mention is the public work order is being changed from 20 to 4. So no longer are you going to have a couple people doing a bunch of public work orders. Now it's, you can do 4 and then that's it. So it's really going to kind of open up work orders for multiple people to be doing that stuff. So I don't know, we'll see how that plays out. So there's actually quite a few new UI improvements. So the XP bar, the durability status, your bags, and that micro menu can all be edited and moved around now. And you can also use your arrow keys to fine tune and move things in and out of position, so that's going to be pretty nice. They've also added some new changes for dragon riding, which is going to help with people that suffer from motion sickness. There's a new feature where you can basically turn on kind of like a screen darkening effect, so as you're flying on your mount, you can basically see just kind of like the front and center of your character, and then the border or the edges of your screen are going to kind of get dark and grayed out, so it's going to be a little bit easier for you to focus if that's something that you deal with. And yeah, so there's a bunch of other smaller minor changes that I didn't really feel like covering because I don't think that they are that big of a deal. I thought the ones that we talked about are kind of the big feature-esque ones for this patch. And it's nice to see that Blizzard is, they're committing to that, frequent cadence of patches being rolled out. I know in Legion, people said that the Legion cadence for patches was perfect, where they basically came out with a new patch every 66 days. So if they can stick to that, that'll be awesome. But yeah, that should wrap up this video, guys. Let me know in the comments which feature you guys are most excited for. I know me personally, I think it's the trading post. I've always been a big fan of, cosmetics, and I just love the fact that they're going to be doing this, and it just makes me really excited to think about all the cool little things that they'll be able to add into the game, because I know that our team was pretty restricted as far as, implementing, tier sets, because, they have to, fit a certain type of thing thematically or whatever. But I think with this trading post, it's really going to just free them up to just throw out really cool stuff. But either way, thank you guys so much for checking out my content. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next one.